Every Friday, we get Russ Moore talking about the Hot or Not column for the week, and I believe he's right here. Oh, the fist bump. I came closer. I started to go for the handshake, and then
You're learning.
I'm learning. I'll get the hang of it by the end of the year here.
Yes.
So, hot or not hot the weather.
Yeah, it's not hot. It's rainy. It's wet. It's depressing because it's damp, but it is May, so. It is springtime, so we're going to get the rain. We need it.
But don't let that keep you down. Don't let that keep you down, especially on Cinco de Mayo, because if you're in the industry, you know what an important day this is.
And if you like tequila.
And if you like tequila, you know it too. But, restaurants, bars count on these days to try to get a lot of folks out.
Does tequila have gluten in it?
Most hard alcohol, the gluten in the distillation process is basically rendered... it takes out the gluten in the distillation process, so I can have tequila.
See, all right, that's what I was getting at for all you folks watching. I was wondering if she could imbibe, and she can, so that's good.
Asking me the long question.
Yes.
I have not started in any festivities yet, but we're getting there.
All right, just want to make that clear. Yeah, all right, good.
Not started yet.
So there'll be some cheer.
Hopefully. Do you have plans?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go out and celebrate. Absolutely.
Okay, well, be careful if you do.
I will.
Everyone
Uber,
else, be careful.
Lyft.
Uber, Lyft.
I don't want to cabs. I don't want to favor one over another.
Well, let's see here. I'm looking at someone outside the studio here, giving them the heads up that they can come in.
That's good.
That is a good thing if we want to invite Mr. John in. So let's go through the hot or not list.
Let's do that.
Let's do it right now.
Why not? No time like the present.
Nick Mattiello.
Yeah, I put the speaker on the hot list, and the reason I put Speaker Mattiello on the hot list is because, look, the budget's coming. He's got all the control, and it looks like he's going to move forward with that car tax plan, and I think that's a good sign for all of us. Further, he's not too keen on creating the new entitlement plan for college students, make college free. But what's most important, this is the main reason he's on the hot list this week, is because he's come out against a plan to inevitably regionalize the Providence Water Board. Water. And what that would do is it would be a boon to Providence, which I guess is good, but it would adversely affect everyone else who uses Providence water, because when they privatize it or regionalize it, the rates are going to go up for everyone. So
yes,
not a good thing, so I'm glad he's opposed to that. Hot.
We did see that this week. Lots of chatter about it. We wrote about it at Go Local here. Yeah, so part of the issue was that the city of Providence was looking for a valuation of the water supply. Talks in recent history have been somewhere in the $300 million mark. And
nice chunk of change, sure.
Nice chunk of change, but
Absolutely.
A lot of folks said, hey, don't sell off the asset if you don't have your pension obligations under control.
Yeah.
But the other one was they needed...
And if you have your pension obligations under control, don't sell off the asset because you wouldn't need to.
You need the asset.
Basically, don't sell off that asset. I agree.
Well, it's interesting because apparently they needed that valuation by a certain date, and they didn't hit that mark. We see this happen a lot at the Assembly. Well, because there's legislation at the State House that would create the regional water board to do it. But as you said, Speaker of the House Nick Mattiello said, No, not going to happen.
Right. Now, we like that. That's good. Sometimes it's good to say no, and in this case, definitely so. Good move by Speaker Mattiello.
Okay, we're going to keep going down the list here. Let's see. Who do you have on hot or not? Hot, Lincoln Chafee.
Lincoln Chafee, sure. Watching him again as he came in studio and spoke with Josh Fenton, and it was a great interview. And I thought he really hammered the point home that there's no proof that these economic subsidies that Governor Raimondo is hanging her hat on, so to speak, are effective. There's no proof that they're going to create all these jobs. There's no proof that they're a good investment, that provide a good return. Sometimes I wonder if we're going to get in the subsidy business, why not just invest directly in businesses and get a return, actually get money back? So
get a piece of the action.
It's like the old, I know you can't compare everything to 38 Studios, but it's like the old 38 Studios argument. Why are we handing these people $75 million with no ownership stake? Now, it was a moot point anyway, because the company was never going to turn a profit and it was garbage. But if it did work out, don't you think that Rhode Island should have gotten some money back since they invested in it, just like any venture capital firm would? I thought the governor made some good points that there's no proof, we haven't seen any, that these subsidies work, but they have been effective at making these offers that to quote The Godfather, that these companies can't refuse. Make them an offer they can't refuse. They come to Rhode Island, makes a beautiful press release because then the governor's bringing jobs here. So I think a lot of it looks a lot like PR, and I credit former Governor Chafee for pointing this out.
Lots of speculation. I had him in studio here not too long ago, even before he was in this week. Do you think he runs again?
Yes, I think he's going to run again.
For governor?
For governor, that's right.
Does he go in as an independent or a Democrat?
That is too much. That's way above my pay grade.
It is not above your pay grade.
I don't know what you're asking me. What Lincoln Chafee's going to do? What party he's going to run in? He could run as a Republican. This is Lincoln Chafee.
Keeps going back around the full circle.
But I will say, if he isn't running for governor, he seems to really be putting himself out there on a lot of different issues. Whether it's subsidies, whether it's the Burrillville power plant,
yes.
all these different issues he's getting involved in. It certainly does seem like he's going to be a candidate for governor.
Well, we shall see. No, he did when he was in studio here. He did say if he made an announcement, he was going to tell me first.
I'm sure he will.
I just keep bringing it back up. If Link, if you're watching, I know he was down at his daughter's graduation this week. I'm holding you to it. So let's keep going down the hot list here. Who else is hot? Real estate market. Let's start actually with the Rhode Island Realtors Association. Record sales. Record
sales. It seems like this is definitely a seller's market because everyone's trying to buy houses. I talked to a real estate agent today, actually, and he had mentioned in passing that people feel more confident because the unemployment rates in Massachusetts and Rhode Island are a lot lower. So people believe that they're going to be employed. They're employed now, so they feel comfortable going out and buying property, and that's the driving force behind the surge in sales. It's the confidence. So that's actually a good sign for Governor Raimondo, too. The fact that the real estate is booming means people feel good about the economy. That's a good sign for her. She runs for re-election next year.
This was the Rhode Island Realtors Association announcing this week that single-family home sales broke all previous records for the first quarter, despite even strong numbers from last year. So a year-over-year, even stronger. So that's a good item to put on the hot list.
Absolutely.
Let's not quite a hot night last night, but had a hot night earlier this week. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Celtics point guard Isaiah Thomas, superstar player. Look, the Celtics did lose last night, but they're still up 2-1 in the series. And the other night, I believe it was Tuesday night, Isaiah had 53 points. He willed the team to victory. They won in overtime. He's losing teeth. His poor sister passed away. And this guy is just like Superman out there scoring all these points, and he's only like 5'1".
He's not 5'1".
I'm shorter than you. No. So you go out there and you look at him, and like there's these 7-foot tall dudes, and then there's him, and they can't stop him. So that is hot. I mean, it makes people wonder, why aren't we in the NBA? If I'm taller than this guy, how am I not balling? So yeah.
Well, I think everyone very much rallied behind him, and it's continuing. It's just that you feel for him having lost his sister, and I believe that the 53 points, that was his sister's her birthday.
Sure,
it would have been her birthday. So I think it's just one of those stories that everyone sort of gets behind, and Celtics fever grips the hub.
Yeah, let's hopefully they can bounce back and win the next game on Sunday.
We'll
be watching.
Tough loss last night.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
They had won 6 in a row.
Yes. Okay. Fine. And of course, I'm going through the hot or not list. I'm like, how does he not have the ponies on the list?
They're there.
They're there.
Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow's the Kentucky Derby. Today is the Kentucky Oaks, which is a race for 3-year-old fillies. Their counterparts race tomorrow in the Kentucky Derby, which are the Colts. So fillies today, Colts tomorrow. I'll actually be skipping out of here and heading over to Twin River and getting my wagers in, so that's always good.
So you're bidding them both today and tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Interesting point that you mentioned, actually, is that former Governor Chafee and I are on the same horse. We both like the 5 in the Kentucky Derby, Always Dreaming. Maybe that's because he and I share that in common. We're dreamers, I guess. I mean, he's more of a doer, but I'm always dreaming, so I think this is going to be a good bet. Should be about 5, 6, 7 to 1. So if you've got a few extra bucks,
again,
head over to Twin River.
No assurances here. So if you put money in, you said I listened to Russ.
That's a guarantee.
No, no guarantees. Our insurance does not cover this.
Oh, sorry. But have some fun with it.
Have some fun. It's Derby Day.
It's the most exciting 2 minutes in all sports.
That it is.
It is. That's what they call it. Yep.
So let's now move to the not hot list.
Yeah, there's some people on there.
Bunch of things on the not hot list of interest and of note. You did put now Councilman Kevin Jackson with the recall vote this week.
Yeah, I think that was easy. I mean, he got recalled by a landslide margin, so there's going to be an election to replace him. Look, Councilman Jackson did a lot of good during his decades 22 years on the council, but unfortunately he's in a little bit of trouble with the law. He's been charged with embezzlement. I think that fueled the recall. And unfortunately for him, he's been taken off the council. He becomes the first recalled elected official in Providence's history. So, yeah, not hot. I think we can all safely argue that.
Well, we'll continue to keep eyes on Ward 3. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens politically moving forward.
Right.
The whole recall effort in and of itself with the proponents and the opponents was a very interesting political exercise. I think that Ward 3 politics will be very much in front and center here in Providence as folks keeping an eye on that moving forward.
Sure, seems like it.
Speaking of politics, putting President Trump on the not hot list for wanting to meet with who?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Kim Jong-un.
Sure, I was shocked when I saw the news earlier this week when the actual word, he said, under the right circumstances, I'd be honored to meet with the North Korean president. I mean, look, I'm not someone who wakes up in the morning and says, I got to go after President Trump. I know a lot of people are because I see them on social media. However, to see the president say that he would be, under any circumstances, be honored to meet with a man like that, who I believe, and I think most would agree, is probably the world's largest terrorist at this point.
When you say, was it the part that he used honored, saying
sure.
Like from a dignitary standpoint?
Absolutely. I don't think that there would ever be a circumstance where a president should meet with him because he can't behave. He's constantly threatening South Korea, who's a major ally of the U.S., not to mention Japan, who's a major ally. He's threatening the U.S. with nuclear attacks. He's shooting missiles. He's having individuals murder his family members. I mean, there is no way on earth that anyone should speak favorably about this man. So I was shocked. I know that the president likes to go off the cuff, and I guess this is why more people don't do it, because you can stick your foot in your mouth quite often.
Where's Dennis Rodman when we need him?
Where is Dennis Rodman? Yeah, I haven't heard much from the basketball player. Yeah, Dennis Rodman, yeah, sure. He's probably in Vegas playing craps, right?
He's been to North Korea.
He's been to North Korea. He played basketball, but I don't think his diplomatic mission didn't seem to have gone so well. But I don't know, maybe he's talking to Trump. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting. For a while there, obviously, international relations was very much in the hot seat with Syria, with North Korea. Now we're seeing a little bit of talk, a little bit of rhetoric, but as you mentioned, very interesting, his choice of words to say honored. But he seems to keeps people on their toes, keeps leaders on their toes, it seems like.
It was more than interesting, it was shocking, I would say. So he landed himself a place on my not hot list.
Not hot list, women and infants, staff reductions as part of the
they're laying
picture.
People off, and they're claiming it's due to demographic trends with a lower birth rate. But it seems like they're trying to make themselves more attractive for the merger of Care New England with Partners in Boston. So I'm very suspect. I didn't like a lot of the rhetoric. It seemed like it was...
the timing?
The timing, yeah, not hot. I don't like to see people lose their job, especially healthcare. Well, I don't like to see anyone lose their job, and we need healthcare professionals because we do have an aging population.
So that landed them on the not hot list
right.
here. Let's see who else is not hot in Rhode Island this week. Going back up through here, North Providence and the police.
Yeah, they're losing evidence. They have a problem accounting for the evidence that's kept in the evidence room. So when I saw that, I thought that was kind of shocking, and you'd think that the police would have better record keeping and better safeguards to make sure things like firearms and drug paraphernalia and jewelry don't go missing.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting point from this week. And then finally, one that I want to talk about in the not hot list, and this is very interesting. This is Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook having people keep tabs on things taking place on Facebook and on Live, including murders and suicides.
We love Facebook Live. Here we are right now on Facebook Live. So it is kind of awkward to say that Mark Zuckerberg is not hot. However, that being said, I don't think when Mr. Zuckerberg envisioned Facebook back in 2003 or 4 or whenever, maybe in 2002, that he thought he would have to hire 3,000 people to monitor it to make sure that people aren't committing murders on it. So it's kind of like a science fiction movie in a way where you create this technology and it just gets completely out of hand. And it works in ways that you don't intend it to. So as we know, science fiction normally critiques advances in technology, doesn't actually celebrate them. So in that respect, I think Facebook's great. I have my complaints about Facebook, don't get me wrong. We won't get into that here, but they're more personal in nature. But I would say that that's definitely a concerning thing when you have to hire people to make sure that you're deleting videos of people doing very bad things.
But you're right. It did create almost a law of unintended consequences. We've seen, unfortunately, so much of it happen in recent months. And, one of the things that's interesting about it, too, is the amount that youth take part in this and participate in Facebook. You have to be just 13 years old. Everybody knows that youth's brains aren't fully formed until 18,
25,
20,
30.
35.
Yeah, there you go, right? Yep, 40.
Wow.
No, I'm saying when I'm 40. Maybe by the time I'm 40. No, it wasn't like that. You took that the wrong way. I was saying when I get to be 40, then I might be normal or something. That's what I meant.
Next week on the Not Hot List, Russ Moore.
It's going to be written by Kate Nagel.
It's just going to be the slides of Russ Moore.
Yeah, all my different
slides of Russ Moore being that high.
Yeah, definitely not. No, but you
39 this year. Thanks.
Yeah, but you didn't. That's not how that was intended.
No, I know.
Good,
I know.
Good.
I'm
we cool?
We're cool.
All right, I like that.
So, but it's interesting, and I do want to just raise one more point that folks didn't see yesterday. Using Facebook Live for Good, Molly had someone in here talking about 13 Reasons Why, which is the Netflix series taking place right now about teenage suicide.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's a very heavy topic, very heavy show. A lot of attention being paid for it. Is it appropriate for kids to watch? Is it appropriate for families to be watching? So speaking of very heavy topics, Facebook and trying to keep tabs on what's happening on live. Definitely a show worth catching if you didn't catch it yesterday. Again, Molly having an expert on here talking about that very timely topic because as we know, there's upsides to social media and there's really big downsides.
With all technology.
With all technology.
Yep,
but we're
absolutely.
great. We like it here that we're able to reach out to you folks and get Russ here every week to come here and give me a ping here and there. And
have a few lighthearted moments,
right? When you hit 40. Thanks, Russ Moore.
Later.
Russ Moore, Go Local Hot or Not columnist, comes in every Friday to break down the hot or not list. I think we have some fodder for next week's as we were joking around about folks who use Facebook and things that are happening there that landed Facebook on the not hot list. So you'll have to check it out again to see his breakdown. This is the world according to Russ. Folks often agree and oftentimes vehemently disagree with him, but check him out every Friday, both in the morning for the column and then here in the afternoon in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center.